Following Jesus isn't easy. Anyone who tells you it's easy is trying to sell you something. Following Jesus takes obedience and persistence, neither of which are easy to come by. Hello world, my name is David Dorn, and this is Preposterous, which is not your typical Bible study. In Matthew 16, Jesus told the disciples soon he would die. Now Peter, trying to be a good friend, jumped in and told Jesus, "You don't have to do that." Peter was trying to make Jesus' job easier. But sometimes easy isn't better. Sometimes it's completely wrong. Jesus responded by calling Peter Satan, which despite Peter's good intentions means he was being a distraction. Jesus then went on to say one of the toughest yet most famous lines in the book of Matthew. Before I read that, I want to impress this upon you. An easy faith is not one worth having. Let's look at Matthew 16, 24 through 26. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "All who want to come after me must say no to themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. All who want to save their lives will lose them, but all who lose their lives because of me will find them. Why would people gain the whole world but lose their lives? What will people give in exchange for their lives?" Jesus turned to the rest of the disciples and said that if they wanted to be his followers, then they would have to take up their cross and follow him. If you've been around Christian culture for any period of time, you've probably heard the phrase, "carry your cross," or "this is my cross to bear." We try to spiritualize what Jesus is saying here. I've heard parents refer to their children as their cross to bear, and children have said it about their parents. I've heard it referred to people's jobs or simply to difficult circumstances people find themselves in. But do you honestly think that Jesus, after just talking about his own death, is referring to your local job at a retail store as your cross to bear? When Jesus says cross, the disciples knew what he was talking about. They would have grown up seeing neighbors and even relatives strung up on a wooden cross as punishment for some offense committed against the Roman occupying force. The cross was a symbol for humiliation and a painful death. To put it into our context, this would be like Jesus saying, "Pick up your electric chair and follow me." Jesus isn't spiritualizing this down to life circumstances. The cross wasn't that for him. For Jesus, the cross was his purpose. He remained obedient to that purpose, even when he wanted another way. The cross was where he would give his life. Jesus remained obedient and persistent to his call. Will you? Following Jesus costs you your life. Fortunately for those who have faith enough to give their lives to Jesus, he gives you a changed life in return. It's hard to be a Jesus follower and live an insulated, comfortable life. God calls his people outside their comfort zones to do great and mighty, humble and quiet things in this world. If God hasn't called you outside of your comfort zone at some point, you either haven't been listening or you aren't following the right God. This is why Jesus declares in Matthew 19 that it's hard for rich people to enter the kingdom of heaven. In that chapter, this very eager, rich young man runs up to Jesus, asking what he must do to enter heaven. And Jesus replies, saying, "To obey the 10 Commandments." Now, Jesus was testing him because no one can live without breaking at least one of them. The man declared that he had been faithful to the laws. And Jesus sees this man's willingness and tells him to go sell all of his possessions, give the money to the poor, and come and follow him. But the rich young man walked away very sad because he was very rich. You see, it's hard to follow Jesus when you refuse to step outside of your insulated and comfortable life. You see, to take up your cross and follow Jesus is to pick up your life and follow Jesus wherever he leads. That takes a level of obedience and persistence that's not easy to muster. Being a Christian isn't for the half-hearted people who just want to get by with the least amount of commitment. Following Jesus requires you to be all in. Does that level of commitment happen in one instant? Not always. For many people, this is a process of surrender to Jesus. But you may think, well, I prayed a prayer. Doesn't that mean I'm in? Maybe. The point of that prayer is to place your faith in Jesus. Your faith means you're placing your life in his hands and going wherever he leads. This is different than just belief. Satan believes in Jesus. Lots of people who believe in Jesus don't find their way into heaven. The rich young man believed in Jesus, but he wasn't willing to give Jesus his faith. I say this not to scare you or even to cause you to doubt. I just want you to understand. Faith in Jesus isn't an easy thing, but it's good. Faith goes beyond our words. Faith is evidenced by our actions. Have you taken up your cross to follow Jesus, or do you find yourself comfortable with a low level of commitment? If it's the latter answer, I've got good news. It's not too late to start. If you want to learn more about faith in Jesus, talk to someone, your pastor, a mentor, or me. Tweet me or email me at preposterousproject@gmail.com. Following Jesus isn't easy, but when you do follow him, you see and experience things that are out of this world, and you get a new life in the process. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed Preposterous, make sure you like this video and share it on Facebook with your friends. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. As always, if you have any questions for me, you can tweet me at @IamPreposterous. And if you're a small group leader and would like to use Preposterous for your small group, you can sign up on our website at preposterousproject.com. God bless.